Hi everyone, welcome to Gateway Wholesale Homes Module 1 training. Thank you so much for being interested in working for Gateway Financial or Gateway Wholesale Homes and Gateway Financial. We are a real estate investment company and where we offer distressed properties to our cash buyers off of a list that we work off of buyers that we have accumulated over the years. Your job is extremely important to me. Your success is very important to me. So that's why I've created these training videos so I could hopefully give you all of the tools that you need to be successful. Throughout this whole process, there may be times where you have questions or you get stuck. And I encourage you, please pick up the phone or send an email or a text message or Skype me, and I can help you figure it out. I've done these same processes literally hundreds of times. So it's pretty easy for me to figure out where you may be stuck at and show you or help you figure out a solution. I would like for you first to refer to these trainings if you do have any questions. That's what their intended purpose is to be, is to help you get unstuck. However, there are going to be some times where you just have questions for me and you won't be able to proceed without reaching out. Part of your job description is to do that, is to reach out directly to me. You don't have anybody to answer to in this business except for me, okay? So I wanted to thank you again. When if I'm successful, or excuse me, if you're successful, I'm going to be successful. So we have a good partnership, and that's where really I'm just relying on you all to do your best at your job. That's all I ask for. Everyone makes mistakes. Mistakes will be made along the way. That is all right. We are all human. We are certainly allowed to make mistakes. It's how you get through them. That's the most important thing. So I encourage you again, if something gets hard or you get stuck, please do not run away. Simply pick up the phone and let me help you so that we can get through it, and that way it'll be easy for the next time. This first module is module 1. We are going to create a property details web page. We're going to be using GoDaddy.com website. I'm going to pull it up in a second. At this point, you all should have been sent all of my contact information already. You also should have been sent all of your username and passwords to access the sites that you'll be needing to do your job. Okay, let's start out. I open up the Mozilla. That's just the internet web browser I prefer to use. It just has the least glitches for me. We're going to start out. If you have not done this already, you need to download Dropbox. You should have been provided a username and password already to access the Dropbox. I just wanted to point out also, please use a separate email. If you can create one on Gmail or Google, please do that. It just makes it a lot easier if you have one dedicated email you're using just for this full-time work. The information that we give out and that we have going back and forth is very sensitive and cannot accidentally fall into the wrong hands. So commingling emails with another business or your personal use is usually not recommended. It's pretty easy to sign up for a free email account. But let me know which one that is so I can be sure to add you into our Dropbox account so you can access the folders that you need to. Once you have accessed it, it will look like this when you open it up. You all are going to only be, let me get to the folders you're going to be accessing. You're only going to be ever accessing the Gateway Wholesale Homes folder, if I can find the darn thing. Hold up. I was working in it earlier. Here we go. This is the folder you're working in, Gateway Wholesale Homes. When you click in this, you're only going to have access to a handful of these folders. Most of the work that you'll be doing is going to be in this folder right here. It's called Deals Reverse Inquiry. You will also have access to active deals, but for this purpose today, I did not upload the files you'll be working on yet in here. By the time you do get in here, you will see the same type of folders that I have currently in my active deals folder. This is what they're going to look like. You'll see property addresses just like this. If you click on the one you're working on or the one you're going to start working on, you will generally see two folders, one called comps and one called photos. In comps, if you open it, I simply have something called, it's labeled CMA. That stands for Comparative comparative market analysis. That's just a fancy word for saying comparisons. If you were to click on here and open it, you would see a PDF open up that is simply a report of a couple of pages that shows what properties that have sold in the area that are like ours we're using to compare the value of our property against. That's it. You also are going to be using the Photos folder. The Photos folder will have all of the photos uploaded in here that you need in order to create the web page in Module 1 or the email marketing in Module 2. If you click on a photo, you have it right here. You can simply right click on it, save the image as, and you can save it or you can drag them directly from here into your web pages or pieces or browse to this. So here's your Dropbox, and this is how you use it. All right. We are going to get out of here. We're going to go now to GoDaddy.com. When you come to GoDaddy's homepage, you will see it will say sign in up here. I've already signed in, so my name appears, but you would actually sign in. It would ask you for a username and a password. Again, you've been provided that. You would simply press sign in, and it would take you exactly to where this is going to take me next. Here are all the products that we use. We only ever use the two of these out of this list: Website Builder, which is highlighted here, and Email Marketing, which is highlighted here. In the order of the modules, we are going to start out with Module 1. You would just click on Website Builder. Anywhere in this yellow box, just click it. It will open up. You'll see two web pages in here. You are never ever going to work with this one, the top one. You're only going to work with Gateway Wholesale Homes only. When you go over here to the right, you click on the Manage button. You want to click on the Edit Site tab. And our web page opens. This is our web page. If you haven't visited it before, please open up another page and go visit it to get familiar with it. Here is the gist of the work that you're going to be doing. It sends everyone back to our home page or to our web page. So your job in here is to go up to where it says home. You're going to click here. You generally want to go to the top property that you see, any one of them. This number, this address will change. They always, depending on the one I've worked on last, or in this case you've worked on last, that may show at the top. It doesn't really matter. You just want to slide over here to where it says copy. You want to hit the copy button. Now it's going to ask you a page name. Now here's how you're going to know what to name this page. I'm going to send you an email. I'm going to open it up over here. You're going to see an email very similar to this one. It will have a link in it that says view real estate information. Also in that email, I'm going to put a few pieces of information. Included in that email will be the asking price that I want you to include in this web page. It's going to include the date and the settled price of 3 comparisons that I want you to add in this page. And again, you'll see this in a second when we get over there, what I mean. And I'm also going to include what the after repair market value is. Those are the 3 bits of information you will not see by clicking on this link, but that I have to give you. Eventually, at some point, I will show you and teach you how to determine those 3 bits of information I'm giving you. But for now, this is the way we're going to do it. When you click on this link, it will open up a web page. This web page, by the way, this isn't me. This is our realtor. He sends me this stuff. Our web page is going to show all of the property details. Up here, you're going to see the property address. So 543 Main Street. When you come back, I'm going to move this close to here so I can show you. When you go back to the web page, that's what all you're going to name it is, 543 Main Street. Okay, you're going to click copy. When you click that, now this is the copied page that you're on. Okay, you're going to click in the box until you get a cursor in here. There you go. And then you're going to highlight it and just type 543 Main Street. Over here under city, you're going to take the city directly from what it says here. It says East Greenville, Pennsylvania. PA stands for Pennsylvania. That's the state. This is the zip code 18041. So we're going to go back to our web page builder and get a cursor in there, highlight it, East Greenville, Pennsylvania, and whatever the zip code was, 18941, I think it was, or what was it? 18041 or 180. Come on. Sometimes the cursor won't show up, but you just if you know you're clicking in that right spot. Now, I told you earlier that I would send you 3 bits of information. One is the asking price. The other is the comparison dates and amounts that the settled property sold for that we're comparing it to, which is here. And the other information I'm sending you is what the after repaired value is going to be here. Also I'll be sending you how much is the instant equity, which is here. So these 4 bits of information. Here, asking price. 3, the dates and the amounts that the 3 most recent comparisons sold at. Here, which is the instant equity, and here, what the suggested retail value would be after it was repaired. These are the 4 bits of information you'll be taking from the content of the email I send you. Okay? And that's where you want to fill this directly in here. Now, so in this case, you would click in here. You would, if the price, let's say, was 120,000, you're going to write 120,000. Whatever the square footage, the amount of bedrooms, bathrooms, and garages are, again, you're going to take it directly from this property detail page. This property detail page, by the way, is called the MLS listing. M as in Mary, L as in Larry, S as in Sally listing. That stands for multiple listing service. This is the real estate service that we access here in our area to get our property information. The address, as I pointed out, is here. You've already used that. The approximate square footage is always going to be here. The bedrooms is going to be here, and the bathrooms is going to be here. If the amount of bathrooms is 1.5 or 2.5, it will say 2/5 or 1/5. That's how you know there's 1.5 bathrooms. If you scroll down a little bit further, if you look under where it says features, parking, the word parking is what we're looking for. We want to see how many car garages this place has. If it's 0, it'll say 0 garages. If it's a 1 or a 2 or a 3 car garage, it'll say it right here. This is the information we're going to be transferring over to our web page. So you want to transfer that information right here. You want to, again, put the cursor right where it belongs. You want to make that 1588. You want to make this 4 bedrooms. You want to make this 1, and so on. So you're getting the idea. Now, over here in this section, this is where we're going to use a little bit of creativity on your part. Part of your job to assist me is to understand what it is I'm doing, understand what the type of language we're going to be using to, and speaking to our cash buyers and that are reading this advertisement. So this is what I want you to get comfortable in viewing, how this wording is. I don't need you to fully make all this up. Okay, what I do need you to do though is when you're over back in the property information, under the section that says remarks, under this public, you're going to highlight some of this information and simply cut it by pressing Control on your keyboard and the letter C as in cat. So Control C will copy it, actually not cut it, but you're going to highlight. You want to read in here and figure out what you're going to highlight though. Perfect investor opportunity to bring good return on investment. Open to all offers. We can provide more details. That all sounds good. You don't need to put things in here that sound like it's geared toward a homeowner that's going to live in it. These are investors. These are people that are going to rip these places apart, make them brand new on the inside, and they want to see that it's a good value for the investment they're putting into it. So I would just maybe, put whatever you think is important. Maybe highlight it from here up to here. I'm going to press Control and C. Control C as in cat on my keyboard. That copies it. I'm going to go back into my website builder. And remember, over here, you've already put in the amount of instant equity that was taken directly out of the email. You want to click in here, highlight all of the description and forward. You want to stop it right at the end of this sentence. or right before this sentence, I should say, after renovated and updated, this house will retail for, this is the number you're changing also as per the email. This sentence always remains, always, except for the only thing that changes in this one is the amount that we are retailing it for, or that it would retail for. This instant equity, this is going to change also, but you've already changed that. So you can leave those alone. After you've highlighted all this, press Control V like Victor, and it will paste the new information you just copied from your real estate sheet over into here. You may have to make sure there's a period there so it ends the sentence. But then again, this one's going to be changed, and this will be changed, and these will be updated. Now, I put the content in separate blocks. You can see that the highlight is being showed when I hover in this area, and there's another highlighted square area in this section. Simply move this up so that it matches. Make sure all the lines are even. It looks pretty, aesthetically and symmetrical and aesthetically pleasing. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to come in here, highlight these links one at a time. You're going to press the link button where it says add a link right here. You click on it. You wait for it to load. You're going to pull the red arrow down and press upload. Now you're going to browse. You're going to browse to your Dropbox. Remember, you should have downloaded Dropbox onto your computer. You're going to go to your Dropbox. Mine is over here. You're going to go to Gateway Wholesaling. That's the folder we're using. You're going to go to the folder that you're going to be working in, Deals Reverse. In this case, again, I'm going to Deals Active because that's where I have current files. Let's say this was the deal we were working on. This is your 543 Main Street. You would go in here. You would choose the comps. It's always going to be in either the comps or the photos folder for the most part. Independent documents will be down here if they're not in a separate folder. But for this case, you're going to go to the comps folder. You see CMA, you're going to highlight that. This is where the comparisons, CMA stands for Comparative Market Analysis. It's a fancy word for saying comparisons that we're using to get the value of our house. You highlight it, you press open. It's going to bring it in here. Once you see it check marked, you press insert. You leave this check mark in open link in a new window and just click update. Now you've just created a link. You've just attached a document to this link you created right here. You're going to do the same thing for the bottom link. You would highlight it. This one is called Property Condition Report. So when you go in and you press the Add Link button, again, it'll ask you where do you want to browse. You just go, you click this button, the down arrow, you hit Upload. You browse again to your Dropbox. You go to Gateway Wholesaling. You go to the deal that you're working on. And I'm going to find Property Condition Report. It's a PDF document. You highlight that. You press Open. Then once there's a check mark next to it, you press Insert. Leave the check mark in this box. Open link in a new window. Press Update. You have just created and finished your page. Oh, no, you've just created your link. Sorry. Now the last thing we need to do on this page is update the picture. All you're going to do is hover your cursor in there. You're going to click on it. Again, if you move anything, just be sure to move it back where it was. But you're going to click on it. When this box comes up, it is going to say Add or Manage Photos. You click on that. Currently, all of these photos that are in here are the photos that are in the slideshow that we're going to create. So you do not want any of these photos in here as they are to a separate property altogether. So you just click the minus button. Just keep clicking it over and over until they all come out of there. You want to add photos. You want to go browse again. You're going to browse to your Dropbox. Go to Gateway Wholesale again. You're going to go to your folder that you're working on. You're going to click on your deal. Now you're going to go to the Photos folder. Very simply, what I do is I highlight the first one. I hold the Shift button down on my keyboard, and then I hit the last one. All of them are highlighted. Then you can press Open File. Okay. You would press Open. All these are loading in here doubly because I already had these photos in here, but I'm just showing you for illustrative purposes. Once they're in here, if you don't like some of them in here, you certainly can delete There's a delete button that pops up. If you see duplicates, I would delete those. And also, I would lump the pictures in according to how you would walk through a house or how you would prefer to walk through a house. How I like to do it is you want to put the front of the house first. Actually, you know what? Hold up. Now, this isn't the place to do that. Once you see check marks, you just click Insert. It'll bring them all in here. This is where you want to manage the photos. So in other words, there's two pictures of the front of a house, this one and this one. See them? You can choose which one you want to use. I would just choose the one that's a little bit nicer. So maybe take this one out, move this one up here into front position. The next photos I like to show are the kitchen. So always keep them in that order, front of the house first, then the kitchen. You'll notice that even though the pictures are not in order when you upload them, you need to keep them or place them in order. So you can just highlight or drag another kitchen photo. Maybe you want to drag all of the kitchen photos if there's another one, and here's another one. Drag it up to the top. There was a last one. Just take all of them in there. The same goes for the rear pictures. Make sure all of the rear pictures of the back of the house are all at the end. Then you're going to click Save. Now you can see right here, all of the photos have been uploaded. Okay, you are pretty much done this page. Now let me show you how to. You're done manipulating the page. Let me show you how to check what you've done and how to publish it now. Now there's actually you're not done yet. Let me back up. Sorry, I keep jumping ahead of myself. But now, since you've done all this work, you want to go up and you want to click the preview button. Preview button will show you what you've done. It will allow you to click on the links you've created. For instance, if you click on this arrow right here, you can scroll through and see a slideshow of all of the pictures you just uploaded. If you come down here and you click on this link, either of these links, this box will show up. Here are your comps. Here is the comparisons that were used to figure out what the value of the property was. Now, generally, just so that you know that you don't need to do anything on here, but generally what we're looking for is on the front page here where it says settlement price right here. Settlement price 239, 242. What we do is we take the three, normally there's 6 of these comps. So there's 2, 4, and then 6 on the 3 pages, maybe 7 even. But we take the top 3 values that it's settled for. So if you're looking down here, settled price 253, 245. We take the top 3. And then we take the dates they settled. For instance, settlement date would be here. So these are the only 2 lines that we ever refer to. Settlement date here, 7/21 or 11/10. And we take the actual settlement price here, 253 and 245. We would look through this report. We would take the top 3. We would add all those top 3 together and divide it by 3. That's how we're getting this number over here as the retail price. Okay, that's how we're doing this. It's the average of the top 3 of these. And also, that's how we're getting these dates. I am actually taking the dates that these all settled, putting them in here of the top 3. And that's how you can, if you ever need to get this information, or need to know how I'm calculating it, this is how. How I'm calculating this instant equity amount is I am subtracting the sales price that we're selling it for. I'm subtracting it from the retail price. So in this case, whatever that number is how you would figure out how much instant equity this has. We sell them at a wholesale. That's why we're called Gateway Wholesale Homes. The people that buy from us are investors. They do a little bit of work to it, and then they fix it back and they put it back on the market after it's fixed up and resell it. Okay, so now we know what that is. We are going to exit preview. Now, if you'll notice something about this page, you'll see the 543 Main Street. You see it show up here. First off, you want to click in there. Actually, wait, let me get out of there. I'm going to go back to, let me see. It's, let me see something. You want to hit the edit button right here. Sorry, I went blank for there. The reason why you want to hit the edit button, so let me go back and do that again so you see what I'm doing. The, the page that you're working on, okay, so we're working on five, there's two of them in here. I'm just going to delete one of them. I don't know. I think that happened on another training I was doing, but I'm not using that one. Okay, so let's go in here. This is let's find 543 main that you're working on. Here we go, main. You want to go over here and click the edit button. The reason why is you want to name the title right here the same as you name the page, because if you don't, it's going to show up in your URL when people navigate to that up here in the top where it tells what tab you're looking at. It will be called whatever it was called that you copied it from. So you need to just change that again. You would just go in there, click your page, click edit, and then you would change it to whatever it needs to say. These names need to always be the same, okay? Um, Now, what you want to do is this. Okay. Okay, so now this 543 main should be showing. Okay. You don't want it to show up, but you need it here temporarily so that you can copy the URL that this will create when you publish it live. Let me show you what I mean. Now that you're at this point, okay, you've corrected everything, you've made your links, you've adjusted all your heights of everything to make sure it looks pretty and even and symmetrical. You're going to go up here and press publish. Going to confirm that we're publishing it. The status bar will tell you, that it's taken. It may take a few minutes. It doesn't take that long though. All right, it's going to provide you with a link. If you just click on that link, it will take you directly to the web page. The page is opening. You see it's right here, 543 Main Street. We don't want this to show here because if we had, let's say, 50 properties on here, all of them couldn't show here. But you do need to click on this so it takes you to the page you've just created. You want to do one of two things here. When I set up my computer, I have tabs up here that I frequently use. For example, I have our websites. There's one in here called Reverse Deals. I would name this one, in your case, you can call it Reverse Deals. You can call it Web Pages, Created Web Pages, Gateway Web Pages. Call it whatever you want. But what you're going to do is, whatever you name this and keep it here in your shortcuts, favorites, you want to just drag it down. Well, let's see, it's in our website. Drag it down and just let it go. And now you'll see 543 Main Street has just popped up in here. Reason being is you're not going to be able to ever navigate to this without coming directly to the URL. These pages that you're creating are private pages, only intended to be opened by the receiver of the email that this is going to directly link them to. So what you want to do is keep this URL right here handy so that you can cut it and paste it into the email marketing that you're going to be creating in Module 2. So this is very important. The only way that people, again, are going to receive or be able to get to this page you're creating on the World Wide Web is by clicking a link to this page that you are creating and publishing right here. Okay, and again, save this so you can refer back to it. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck in the next step, and I'll show you what I mean. So now that you've created it, I've stuck mine down in here in reverse. That means I can get back to it whenever I want to. Now that that is live, we're going to get rid of this now. We don't want this to show. So you go right back into Website Builder, close this out. You're going to double click anywhere in the white section. Usually it should be at the top. You're going to scroll down and find it. Here it goes, 543 Main Street. You're going to just put a click mark next to the eyeball where it says Show Hide. Now it grays it out. You can press save and it removed it from our navigation bar here. Then you want to republish it right away. Do not forget this step. You want to confirm publishing. Again, this shouldn't take that long. Go back to the web page just to confirm that it's been removed. If it still does show here, I would just press the refresh button. Sometimes that will take it off, or will update it on your browser, your history, your cookies. And you notice you can't browse to it. Even if you go in all inventory, you won't see it because again, this is an invitation only page. However, if we go back to where we put it in our folder, we can pull it right back up. All right. So you are done. The only thing, yeah, the only thing you need to do now, again, you can check these links to make sure they work. Just double check your work before you submit it back to me. If there have been any links that don't work, do your best to try to figure out how to make them work. And if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to call me or send me an email, and I will guide you through how to correct it or fix whatever mistake has been made, or just how to proceed. Once you're finished with this, it's very important. Come up to here, click Manage Site, and exit the designer. That way, I can get in it when I need to, and I'm not having to figure out, if you're still hovering in it, and I can't get into the website. Also, when you're at this main page, go back up to where it says My Name Gabriel. If you click on the My Products button, it will take you to this page where we started out. And again, I showed you, we're only using two of these. It's Website Builder and it's Email Marketing. In Module 2, we will be using the Email Marketing tab where you're going to learn how to create a mail piece to sync up with this web page you just created. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. Again, you are invaluable to my business, and the better you can be at your job, and that I can help you be at your job, the more successful that it will make our company, and then that will make me better at my job too. If throughout this process you think or you can see a way that we can do something better, or that is something that is more streamlined for you and how you work, as long as all the basic steps are not missed, I highly encourage it. I like for people to be creative, think outside the box sometimes. Our only goal is we want to get the job done and get it done correctly and be accountable for what we're doing. Thanks again, and I will talk to you in the next module. Thank you.